Ladies, Sarah Moore is here joining us. So hello and welcome. My name is Julie Santiago. You are joining me for another one of our incredible client spotlight videos. And today we are joined by the beautiful Sarah, who is the mom of how old is your newest baby?
The fifth kid is 7 months.
7 months old.
Yeah.
And she is the new mama of bonus mama of 4 older kiddos, and she just had her 5th baby, and she's an alumni of our program. And Sarah, did you level up last week? Did you graduate last week, or are you graduating this week?
Last week.
Okay, cool. So yay, I'm so happy that you're here. It is an honor to be with you, and I'm so excited for you to share your story with all of the other women who are watching. We were setting intentions before we hit record, and you were sharing a little bit about kind of what you were feeling grateful for. And we're going to talk a lot about where you were and why you came to us, and then where you are now. And I want to just turn it over to you if you want to kind of pick up what you are sharing. And then we'll dive into why did you join our program? What were you struggling with as a new mama? And, incredible, businesswoman, professional woman, and, all the things you hold. So why don't you kick us off? Tell everybody kind of if the industry you work in, if you want to share that. And then in general, where are you right now having just finished the program, and how are you feeling?
Okay. So a lot there. I'll start with where you found me, because I was 2 months postpartum, had a really difficult birth. It was the first birth that I had, but our 5th child. And my hormones were all over the place, but I was under extreme stress. I was a new mom. I had just gotten married a year and a half ago to a widower, adopted his 4 children. We got pregnant almost immediately, and I was juggling a full-time job and a consulting firm that I built out on the side, which you can't have an on the side consulting firm and do both things to the best of your abilities. So before I had the baby, I had been sick and throwing up for 9 months. So the launching into this birth was complicated, and I had to let go of work because physically I couldn't do it. I was miserable throughout the entire pregnancy and didn't have the necessary support in my life. We moved 3 times in a year. That was stressful. The kids had lost their adoptive mother, their first adoptive mother. They're all adopted from different families. And so we had a lot of grief. We have a lot of grief in our house, a lot of difficult conversations, a lot of resistance, and a lot of work still to be done. But I didn't know what to do with it. So you found me in my bed, scrolling through Instagram, when my husband had left the house. He's been out of work for over a year and just went back to work today.
Wow.
Which is a huge win. Wow. And I was crying, and I finally had some space to myself, and I said out loud, I hate my life, as I'm weeping, not just crying. I hate my life. And then I got this little ad popped up on my Instagram, and it was you. And for some reason I said yes. And I watched through the introduction. I signed for a coaching call immediately, and I realized I need help so drastically. I am unable to get to where I need to go without new tools and without new support. So I made the decision wholeheartedly, even though it really didn't make sense for a summer with the kids, 5 kids home from school, working from home, and my husband just around not working. Fast forward to where I am now. Am I on track for the juxtaposition you wanted to present, or did you want me to?
You're so beautiful. Let's fast forward to right now, and then I'm just going to pull out some incredible things that you're sharing. Love you so much.
You're so sweet. I love you too. Now, I finished my last call on Thursday of last week. I realized then, in that moment, that I had been in burnout since 2017, trying to salvage things, living as an adrenaline junkie off my own stress, because that was the only way to bounce from project to project. I do fundraising. I coach nonprofit executives on how to fundraise, how to lead their teams, and how to grow their organizations.
Hmm.
I was unable to do that well because I was so burnt out.
Yeah.
Now I am not doing the work I want to be doing for the rest of my life, but I am so joyful that I get to work. My work is only 30% of my day. I am a better mom. My family is first. I don't feel torn by the trade-offs every single day of choosing between whether I'm a good mom or a good worker, professional worker. I love the work now instead of dreading the work. And by that, I mean the broad scope that like work means a new thing. I love doing the laundry because now it's a way to spend time with one kid at a time and teach them things about how to love the process instead of just trying to get to an outcome and be as fucking efficient as possible. I now see my marriage as a teacher. Like God put me and my husband's life and him in my life so that we could be mirrors and so that we could deepen our love of who we are, who we were designed to be, and sharpen one another. And I've learned patience in my marriage in a way I never thought was humanly possible. I'll stop there for the sake of time, but I am new. I am transformed. I am so grateful. And yeah, I can't wait to follow the sparkly breadcrumbs.
I like, God, Sarah, thank you so much for sharing. I'm like touched by the fact that our program is called Awaken Your Life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think you just so beautifully exemplified exactly what that means. Like, so to go from, I hate my life, right? Crying in bed at night alone, like, having been burnt out for years, not even knowing it, right? Mm-hmm. Being an adrenaline junkie and getting high off of your own stress just to keep going so you don't crash, to go from that place to I'm only working 30% of the time. What was it before?
Probably 90%.
So like 90% of your waking life was either work or thinking about work.
Yeah. Yep.
And now it's 30%
mm-hmm.
of waking hours. Like, to go from that, to go to, I enjoy my work every day because I can find the joy in it. I enjoy doing laundry because now it's a way that I bond with one kid, to say my marriage, like we've reached a place where like I never thought we could have. And it's just the beginning. Like, and you signed up for the program how long ago?
I guess it was only 3.5 months ago.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. It looks like you booked your breakthrough call with our team on April the 29th.
Wow.
And today is August that we're filming this, the 16th. May, June, July. It's 3.5 months. 3.5 months, 14 weeks. Like this transformation. Okay. So I know everybody who's watching, like who was watching and who was listening, is like, okay, how? You have 5 children. You joined our program a few months postpartum. You were essentially, your husband didn't have a job, so you were the breadwinner, right, at the time. Which, by the way, can we just celebrate what happens when women get support? Like it's like, oh, look, now your husband's like stepping up, and I deeply believe this happens. We as the women lead the way, right? And then our partners follow. And so celebrating him and celebrating what that does for your family. So you were the main breadwinner. So you're the mother of 5. You were a new mother postpartum. You were running 2 businesses. You were the breadwinner. And everybody's probably like, what magic pill did you take?
Yeah.
How did you do this? And so, was there ever a point in our methodology, right, that you were like, this is crazy, I don't think it's going to work?
Yes.
Cool. What was one of those moments? Like the first thing that you were just like, what? Like, what is this? Because we talk about like our work is a very holistic approach to burnout, right?
Yeah.
A very holistic approach, like body, mind, soul approach to burnout. So
I just have to interrupt first and say I'm really self-conscious about my baby hairs, and I just want to show you that they're coming back, and I think that's part of the program too. Like my body feels
Your body feels like safe enough and nourished enough to be relaxed. Yeah.
right.
There's
Right, absolutely.
Yay for that.
So I'll
And
give you that
as a
credit for
new
that.
mama, I understand this. And every new mom understands the celebration of that. You've taken yourself out of stress and out of survival mode.
Right.
So your body's back online, your marriage is back online, your relationship with your kids is
Right.
back online. Like you literally were in a hole and you crawled your way out of it.
Right.
So
To
yeah.
go back to your question of the
You do.
challenge,
Yeah.
because this is related to it. I believed I was supposed to have figured out how to do it on my own. That my
Yes.
faith was strong enough that I could have just been there and that it was a flaw in me. And I realized I needed a Virgil. I needed to have the humility to say, I don't know what the fuck to do right now. Um, talking to my mom last weekend, Virgil is Dante's guide through hell.
Yeah.
And then through purgatorio, and then he leaves him for heaven, which is such a cool analogy for our lives and mentorship and discipleship and what this is. But talking to my mom last week, she was asking me the same question. What were the challenges in the program? Yeah. And I think this program actually literally saved your life, like physically saved your life. I was so stressed out. I don't know how I could have continued. And my body, I was seeing like all the acupuncture, doing all the stuff you recommend. I was already doing it and it wasn't working because my soul wasn't where it was supposed to be. It wasn't aligned. The challenges I had were with myself, and then wondering if this was the right guide. I think the perfectionist in me wanted to make sure that there was perfect philosophical alignment. And then I realized that was like my unhealthy challenger trying to make something perfect because I was afraid to go all in and I was afraid to trust.
Ooh. And I really I know you've got more to say, but I just want to underline that and circle that because that's huge what you just said. And there's huge awareness. I just want to celebrate your awareness in that. And I want to make sure other women can hear that, the connection of those things, that the perfectionist in us, waiting for the thing to be perfect, waiting for the exact right mentor, the exact right program, waiting until all your work is done, waiting until everything is like magically perfectly aligned to take action. Like it's like why we procrastinate. And what you just said is what you realized is the reason you were procrastinating and waiting for things to be perfect is because you were actually afraid to go to the places you needed to go and look at the things you needed to look at.
Right.
And so the perfectionism, the procrastination was trying to protect you from going into the cave in a way, right? The cave fear, there's that quote we talk about in the program, the cave you fear holds the treasure you seek. It's a Joseph Campbell quote. And so it was actually like, don't go there. Don't go there. Let me judge this thing. Let me all these reasons that it's not right. And it's because you were afraid. At what point did you realize that was happening? Were you like halfway through the program or?
No, I think I was on module 4.
Cool.
And it also didn't help. My husband wasn't very supportive of the program for the first like 2/3 of it until he started seeing fruit in my life. And until we had a come to Jesus talk where I was like, look, this isn't about you.
Oh, that's huge.
And in a kind way. Yeah. But just, I'm doing this because I love you. I'm doing this because I couldn't find any other options that would teach me to take care of myself again. And I think that fear, getting over it, was part of the fear that I was too much. And when that was confronted in the program, like, you are enough. I kept hearing women on the calls Tuesday and Thursday night acknowledge, like, I'm worthy. And I kept seeing women say that and cry. And I thought, that will never happen to me. I'll never get to that point where I think I deserve it that way. And then I did. And maybe it's for different reasons and different motives and different whys, but it's true. Each woman is worthy. And that exploration of your worth is what carries you through the program.
Oh my God, Sarah, that's so beautiful. I think it's really, I want to explore this, like the idea that your husband didn't support you, because I think a lot of women who come to us may have a similar experience. Like, this is interesting, right? Like, you were the breadwinner, like technically you have, worked to make this money and you made this decision. It sounds like, did you tell him you were making the decision before? Or did you tell him afterwards?
I made the decision first and then I told him, and I was afraid to tell him, but I did.
And you're afraid to tell him. We have women who join the program who, don't tell their husbands at all because they're afraid. We have women who tell their husbands immediately and face what you felt, right? We have some women who don't sign up for the program because their husbands don't support them.
Yeah.
I really want to celebrate and pull out here is that you did not let your husband make this decision for you.
Mm-hmm.
You stood in your truth, which was, this isn't about you. This is about me and my life. This is what I found to teach me how to take care of myself. And I love that you said, and I'm doing it for you. And I'm doing it for our 5 kids. But this is my decision. How did you get the courage to do that? Because I needed to tell you all of this. Like, we see women like you, Sarah, who are like successful and badass and, you know, completely capable and independent, still give their power away at times to their partners, particularly in like heterosexual relationships, like the woman giving their power away to the man and letting the man decide. So you had a moment where you were like, I don't care if you like this or not. I'm doing this and this is what's right for me. What gave you the courage to do that?
I think the desire to be done with survival mode. Like, it was so great. Yeah. And it outweighed, and also, like, I wanted to confront, I've been tyrannized by people pleasing my entire life. I've tried to make every person I've ever met happy by saying the right thing at the right time. And in order for our marriage to work, in order for us to not be separated or not be divorced, I had to draw a line. Sorry, my youngest daughter is right upstairs and she is dancing right now, I think.
She's like, dance, mom. Yeah, good job, mom.
Yeah. And in order, so sorry if you hear that background noise, in order for our marriage to work, I had to take a greater risk. Yeah. And it was like, I felt like completely opened up, completely naked. But the way that I did it was also in a confession, owning the problem is me. Because for the past year, I have been blaming him for a lot of things that he has done that are very hurtful, that are out of my control, that I want to change about him, that affect our family and hurt our family. And as long as I was focused on him, our marriage was never going to work. And I had to lead by example instead of telling him what to do. And so I said, the problem is me. Here's where I have been hurtful. I'm not telling you what you want to hear right now. And I'm afraid of how you're going to respond. I've not done this before. I don't know how to work out these muscles, but I'm trying now. And I'm telling you that I made a decision, and whether or not you support it, I stay in that decision.
Oh, Sarah, I mean, I just want this to be a rallying cry for women everywhere, because this is what it means to rise into our power. And part of why we all get so burned out is, you've mentioned 2 of the pitfalls that we talk about in the program, the perfectionist and the people pleaser. Right. And so for you to be able to say, this isn't working, I'm not doing this anymore. I can't keep doing it this way. I have to learn another way. And I'm going to take control of my life. I'm not going to let my husband decide my fate, his fate. I'm not going to let my boss decide my fate, his fate. I'm going to take the control. I'm going to take my power back. I'm going to take the, driver's seat back in my life. And you did that. And you did that because you are the leader of your family. I believe women are the leaders of our family, period. We lead our children. We lead our partners. We lead our communities. And that is what you are doing. And you're now able to put your family first, right? You're not torn. I mean, I wrote this down. You're not torn between the trade-offs. Like, you've completely revolutionized the way that your whole family is set up because you were courageous enough to take the first step, right? To do this, to lead, right? The other people are afraid, right? You mentioned, yes, I'm just like fist pumping. Yes. And may this message just touch the other women who need to hear it. I have one more question for you, and then I'll just turn it over to you. You said you had tried a lot of stuff before. I think it's always really good for women to hear what other people have done, right? Because like, you had done a lot. What had you done before that hadn't worked before you found us?
So many things. Physically, acupuncture, chiropractic work, nutritional health, counseling, therapy, marriage counseling. I quit my job, my high stress job, when I was in 2017. I was still in my 20s, running a 30-person team, managing a $400 million book in a fundraising space. and it was super intense, political, vicious. And I chose to leave because I was so self-important and the environment was so toxic. I knew in order to save my soul, I needed to leave. I wasn't able over the past 5 years to find the thing, but I've been on this journey miserably, even lazily at certain points. And I left that job and I took a 4-month sabbatical, soul searching around the world. I went to Europe, lived with old host families, tried to be adventurous. I like split my time into, I'm going to serve others, I'm going to explore, and I'm going to like reimagine what life could look like. Read all the self-help books, Designing Your Life, thought about coaching certification, but I was like, I can't coach other people when I haven't figured this out for myself yet. So that's silly. So yeah, extra counseling, retreats, health, diet, support groups. I went to AA. I'm not an alcoholic, but I had a serious drinking problem. I was on a path for like just total destruction, toxic relationships, dated people I should have never dated, all the things. Anyway, I am totally digressing. I tried it all to heal.
Yeah, you did it all. Like, and thank you for being so vulnerable and sharing. And I recognize, I'm like, yep, I know all those paths. I walked all those paths too. And then some. That's why it took me 10 years to like figure this out and put it together. And I just want to acknowledge, like, you did the body piece. It's like acupuncture, diet, like you did the mind piece, you did counseling, you did the whole eat, pray, love thing. Maybe if I quit my job and sell everything and then go volunteer and like go through the things, it's like, nope, that didn't do it. Like, tried 12 steps, like that didn't do it. It's like, you did all the self-help books. You're like, it's like, so I think there's, you have done a lot of work, right? And you said the missing piece was soul, which is so interesting. Like, yes, we teach body in a different way. Yes, we teach healing in a different way. We teach the mental, we teach the physical, we teach all those things. But there really is a next level of doing this inside of a community, inside of a group of women. What do you think this program gave you that the other things didn't? Why did it work for you? Like, in part you were ready, like kind of like the last house on the block. Like, I'll try it. But why do you think this worked and the other things didn't?
The first word that comes to mind is rituals. The rituals of turning to the modules every morning. The rituals of that morning routine, that pledge. The ritual of checking in with my coach, April, who's phenomenal. The ritual of confession and celebration on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And like, I think it was either you or the new book, Effortless by Greg McKeown, where there's a difference between rituals or habits. And I had habited the shit out of life. The program provided community and ritual, and accountability. There's also, I think the fifth thing would be embodiment. If you don't see other people living it out, it becomes very lonely, the journey. And even the 12-step thing that you mentioned, that has been helpful, but because I wasn't doing life with those people, it felt like another to-do list item that I didn't have time for, that took me away from the people that I loved. And to have something that was so integrated into my daily life, like something like with the welcome package, like the bracelet and the candle and the lavender, it was like, I am seeing other women going through these rituals every single day, even when I don't feel like getting out of bed today.
It's huge. Yeah, I think I love that you said those things. It's like there's the community piece, there's the accountability piece. You're watching other people do things. So even when you don't want to, you're inspired because somebody else is doing it. There's that community vibe. And then there's this ritual piece. And I think one of the things I know for me, and I'm saying this to all of you who may be watching Sarah, just so I can codify this a little bit, is like, this is why we say, our program is built by women for women. This isn't another task management system. This isn't like some habit tracker or habit changer. Like, these are really tools that women need to thrive. And it's different. than what we're taught in the corporate world and the professional world and the masculine dominated, male dominated industries that many of us have grown up in. And so thank you for speaking to those, because it is what makes our work different and why women like you get these phenomenal results. Now, here's what I want to say. Sarah showed up. Like I can't promise that every single person who comes into our program or has a breakthrough call with our team is going to get these results, because Sarah showed up. You showed up every single week. You were on every call that I was on. I saw you on, right? You were regularly doing your work. You did your modules. You leaned into your coach when you needed help. You were there to cheer other women on when they needed it. Like, you showed up and you did the work, right? It's not like there's a magic wand. You showed up and you did the work. And because you did the work, you got these incredible results. So the first steps Sarah took 3.5 months ago is she booked a breakthrough call with our team.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! And so I'm going to give you all the link to do that. It's a free call. It's 1 hour. We're going to hear about what's working, what's not working in your life. If we can help you get to where Sarah is, even have like a fraction of the incredible transformation that she's had, we'll tell you about how to work with us. We'll invite you into our program. We don't invite everybody in. The website is endtheburnout.com/apply. So go to endtheburnout.com/apply. You'll see a little calendar that pops up. You can find a time that works for you and you'll talk to one of our incredible coaches. Now, Sarah, if you were to talk to yourself 3.5 months ago, who was about to book that breakthrough call, or any woman who may be listening right now and she's like, should I book it? Should I not do it? What would you want to tell her about taking that first step?
I would tell her, you were scared, and you should be, because your life is about to change forever. That you should trust your gut and get comfortable with learning to make decisions that don't make sense to other people. Get ready to have your mind blown. Get ready to let go of despair. Get ready to seize every single day with joy and purpose. Get ready to be the person you've always dreamed of being.
What a gift you are, Sarah. Thank you so much for sharing your journey and your heart. You are such a gift to this world and to your family. You're an incredible mother and wife. I love having you inside of our community, and it's just the beginning. I hope you feel amazing about the decision you made all those months ago and the woman that you are today. And I just can't wait to see who you keep becoming. So thank you. And for all of you watching, thank you for bearing witness to the incredible journey and testimony of Sarah. And if you want to have a call with our team, go to endtheburnout.com/apply, and we'll talk to you soon. Much love. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Julie.